friends, this is Marina Shepelsky, immigration attorney. And today I want to talk about the 5 myths about VAWA. These are things that are not true, but people keep still talking about them and making others confused. So I want to dispel this confusion, end this confusion, and talk about the valuable things that VAWA can do for you and get you a green card. First of all, myth number 1 is that you need physical violence. Let's step back one, okay? If you don't know what VAWA is, let me tell you very quickly what it is. VAWA is short for Violence Against Women Act. This is a law that our president, when he was a senator for the state of Delaware, helped sponsor a long time ago, like about 30 years ago. And basically this law says, as it applies to immigration, that if you are married to a U.S. citizen or even a green card holder, if you have a child, adult child, over 21, and they're a U.S. citizen or green card holder, and your spouse or that adult child abuses you, the key word here is abused by your spouse or ex-spouse or your adult child, then you can get a green card on your own. You shouldn't have to get your abuser to cooperate in getting you legalized. The great things about VAWA is that even if you came with no visa, or you came with like some temporary visa, like a crewman's visa, C1 or D1, or you overstayed your status, all that is forgiven if you can win the I-360 VAWA petition. Most of the times you can file the green card application and work permit and advanced parole application all in the same packet with the VAWA petition. So you get so many benefits by finally walking away from your abuse. And by the way, you can even file if you're still living with your abuse. But the number 1 most common myth, untruth, is that you need physical violence, proof of physical violence, to win VAWA. This is absolutely not true. Like the one that's considered for the VAWA petition has to be a subjective thing, meaning you personally felt abused, not somebody else. Maybe someone else didn't feel abused when somebody is insulting them, putting them down, saying bad things about them. But you did. If you experienced emotional abuse, financial abuse, somebody insulted your spouse, you were put down, you were treated badly, that's enough. The person did not have to hit you or push you or do anything like that. Sometimes when I talk to victims of this kind of abuse and I say, were you physically abused? They'll say no. But when I ask physical kinds of questions, like, did you ever have sexual relations against your will? They say yes. That's actually physical abuse, but people don't consider it such. I will say, did your spouse ever like shove you or push you or get in your face and intimidate you? They'll say yes. Then also you could claim to be physical abuse. So just because you don't think you had physical abuse, never punched you in the face, right? Or you never fell to the floor, you never bled, that doesn't mean that you were not abused, that you will not win VAWA. You can definitely win VAWA with just emotional and verbal and insults, that kind of abuse. Number 2 myth, not true, is that you need police reports. In other words, if you reported your case to the police, that's automatically you will win. It's not true, okay? Even if you have police reports, you can lose, and we have won most of our cases without any police reports. Now, in some cases, we do encourage people to leave the abuser and to file for a restraining order. And a lot of times you should call the police. I encourage you, if you're being abused, to call the police. But if you don't have police reports, you could still win VAWA. I promise you. We win all the time, even with no police report or even a restraining order from family court. Now, what we do encourage you in every time, in every case, is to go see a psychologist and talk about your pain and your trauma to a psychologist, and we will ask your psychologist to give their evaluation of you and their notes. That would definitely help, but not a police report, a psychologist report. that you can go and you see safely and privately and confidentially. Now, the third myth is that this case is for women only. This is absolutely not true. Even though the name is VAWA, Violence Against Women Act, men qualify too, and we win men's cases all the time. Men's abuse looks very similar to women's abuse. A lot of it is being insulted, financially controlled, put down, told and threatened and intimidated with deportation and so on. Men qualify for VAWA just like women and can get a green card for themselves and their kids. Now, let's talk about getting VAWA when you are in a marriage, right? The word marriage, there's another myth about that. If you're divorced, up to 2 years after your divorce, you could still win VAWA. If you thought you were married, but they tricked you, they lied to you, something didn't happen so that your marriage, maybe you went to City Hall and you got the license, but you never went through with the ceremony, but you thought you were married. So if something is wrong with your marriage, or if they were married to someone else while they married you, believe me, we've seen this, it's still okay. You're still going to win VAWA. You're allowed to do it. Also, you don't even have to be married. If you have a child who's a citizen or a green card holder, that child abuses you, treats you badly, call you names, make your life hell, you can win VAWA. It doesn't even have to be a married partner, a spouse. It could be that you're abused by your child over 21 who's already a citizen or green card holder. Now, if you were in a marriage to an abuser and that person was a green card holder and got deported, you could still win VAWA. If the person lied about being a citizen, he was just a green card holder, you could still win VAWA. If they died and you were a widow or widower, you could either get VAWA or the widow petition. So there's a lot you can do here, and don't listen to people who tell you you cannot do a case just because your spouse died or was divorced from you, okay? Now, the final point. People think that if you're doing a marriage abuse-based VAWA, you have to show that you lived with your spouse for a long time. That's not true. To win VAWA, you have to show, yes, you lived together for some time, and prove it. Have joint documents, have bills in 2 names, trips together, pictures. But if you didn't have a long marriage, but you were together for a long time before marriage, you can use your dating proofs when you lived together before the marriage, when you had pictures together before you got married, to win your VAWA case. Other than that, you will need to show good moral character, and finally, that you were abused. To prove abuse, as I mentioned before, we need a psychologist report. We will need letters from your friends and family and neighbors and co-workers who can talk about the pain you've experienced, what you discussed with them. And it doesn't have to be anything special. We can help you work on that evidence. You have a chance. Don't listen to myths. Listen to us. We'll be happy to help you with your green card, and you can get your children legalized as well, even if they're over 21 now. But when you started your VAWA case and they were under 21, this process freezes their age. So that's another really good thing about VAWA. I hope I convinced you that if you're living with abuse and a bad situation, you can begin your life over again and get a green card in the process, even if you had an old deportation case, even if you came with no visa, you overstayed your visa. All those situations, we get people green cards through VAWA. Give us a call today. Thank you for watching this video. Please give us a little heart to show us you like this video. Become a subscriber, follow our channel, and find us on TikTok and on Facebook. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.